Ivan Starodubtsev is the president of the Russian-Turkish Project Development Association. He joins us now from Ankara. Ivan, welcome to the program. I just wanted to start by asking you about the possible fragility of this peace agreement because of what's happening in Armenia. Protesters who are not happy with the fact that their prime minister has signed this deal, they'd given Nikol Pashinyan until midnight to resign. He hasn't. But if the pressure increases and he does eventually go, how much does that endanger the agreement because the man who signed it isn't there anymore?
Hello, first of all, thank you for inviting me to your program. I would like to say that from the very beginning it was clear that this peace agreement actually is quite fragile, and the biggest question was whether Pashinyan will be capable to stay at power after he announced the details of this agreement to Armenian people. Because from the very beginning he was speaking too much about Nagorno-Karabakh is a part of Armenia, and give a lot of promises which he was not capable to elaborate somehow. So now it is his responsibility and it is his biggest risk, and biggest risk, of course, for the peace in the region.
When this conflict started towards the end of September, why did Russia leave Armenia to fight alone? Because when it started, most commentators agreed that when you look at the military of the two countries, there's only going to be one winner, and that was going to be Azerbaijan. That's the way it's gone. But Russia seems to have abandoned its ally, Armenia.
Actually, this is a kind of a stereotype that Russia unconditionally, in all the cases, support Armenia. If you look economically, for example, to the relationships between Russia and Armenia and Russia and Azerbaijan, if we compare them, we will see equality. If we look at the diasporas, which are living in Moscow or in Russia whatsoever, they are almost equal. So Russia, of course, is trying to keep the good relationships with Armenia and both Azerbaijan, but being on the legal ground. And the legal ground was expressed quite clearly by Mr. Putin, who is saying that Nagorno-Karabakh is a part of Azerbaijan. There is nothing to do about that. And afterwards, how Russia may unconditionally support Armenia. Of course, Russia got an agreement with Armenia, security treaty about joint security treaty. But it is not valid because we are speaking about the conflict which is not at the territory of Armenia.
What do you say to the analysis that the result of this conflict has shown that Russia is losing influence in the Caucasus while Turkey is gaining influence in that part of the world, in the southern Caucasus?
First of all, let me say that the influence of Russia in Caucasus was at the time when there was a just single state, Soviet Union, and all the states were parts of the Soviet Union. Of course, after Soviet Union became a history, actually Russia could not keep the same influence because it is not its territory, it is independent states. And naturally, Turkey became influenced in Azerbaijan. It is also very logical if you look from all the sides at this question. But I believe that the most important thing, a part of that Russia and Turkey again come face to face after Syria, after Libya, after Eastern Mediterranean. Again, Russia are sitting and Turkey are sitting at the same table. The most important thing is that third players who were trying to be effective at Nagorno-Karabakh, they lost their plans. I mean, they lost. They couldn't be effective there. And again, we see that the just regional players can resolve the regional issues. Now we are speaking about Russia and Turkey actually trying to be intermediary for this conflict between Azerbaijan and Armenia.
But it could be said that Russia bears most of the responsibility for making sure that the ceasefire lasts and becomes a more permanent solution because it is a Russian signature on the peace deal, Azerbaijani, Armenian and Russian, and not Turkish. Do you think Russia can deliver on that responsibility, or will it eventually need to look for more external assistance, maybe from the United States, maybe from the European Union, and then, of course, also from Turkey?
If you look legally, of course, it is a Russian responsibility because, as you correctly said, there is a Russian signature there. There is no Turkish signature there. But let us note that the announcement about this agreement was done by Mr. Putin few days, just maybe 1 or 2 days after his telephone conversation with Mr. Erdogan. And there is no doubt that behind of this agreement there is also Turkey. And actually that is what tomorrow will be discussed in Turkey between Russian and Turkish delegation. Turkey somehow got its responsibility actually, but it is not formalized in its signature.
Ivan, could you just explain to us some of the background of the issue of energy in that part of the world, and especially as it relates to Russia and resources moving through the southern Caucasus towards Western Europe, and how that might play in terms of influencing how Russia feels?
Of course, Caucasus is an important region in terms of energy security, and we know that there are a lot of projects over there between Turkey, between Georgia, and between Azerbaijan. There are certain plans about energy corridors, but there is a stereotype that Russia may not cooperate with Turkey in terms of energy. Actually, it is wrong, because we see from the Turkish stream that Russia and Turkey are cooperating together. And actually, I do not see here too much energy. Do not see too much energy dimension here. Mostly it's about the territory and about old conflict. Because in terms of energy, somehow what we see, Russia and Turkey are capable to agree between itself.
Ivan, really appreciate the analysis and for breaking it down for us. Ivan Starodubtsev speaking to us from Ankara.